This story is called The Baker's Daughter, and of course it comes from a time when we did go to the baker to get our bread and not to the supermarket as most of us do now. There was once upon a time a baker and his daughter, and the baker did the baking in the back of the shop and prepared the dough and brought it through for the daughter to mould it and to put it into the oven. Now his daughter became known as very, very mean. Oh, whoever walked in the shop would be demanded to place their money on the counter before the daughter would even lift a finger. Well, dare I say, fairies. They really like to be called the little people. So it's the little people. They got to hear of this mean baker's daughter, and they thought about it and wondered if they could teach her a lesson. And one fairy decided that she would transform herself into an old, ragged woman of the roads, and her wand became an old, gnarled, crooked walking stick. And on this day she walked into that mean baker's daughter's shop, and she shuffled up to the counter and she said, "Oh, please, missy, please, could you just give me a wee bun? I'm famished." "Money on the counter first," said the daughter. "Oh, but please, I haven't got a bean to rub between my fingers. Just a wee crumb, or else I'll fall down here dead." "Oh, rot rubbish. I want your money first. Show me the sign of it, and then I'll bake you a bun." "Oh!" And the old woman began to cry and weep and moan. And at last, with a great sigh, that mean baker's daughter turned to the great dough trough, and she took some of the dough, just a small handful. She rolled it between her hands, she opened the oven door, put it in the oven, closed the oven door, and went on with her work. And when she thought it was baked, she opened the oven door, and to her surprise, there was not a small roll there, but a loaf. Oh, she turned to the old woman. "I'm not giving you that when you can't put even a coin on the counter." And she turned to the dough trough again, and she took an even smaller round of dough, rolled it between her hands, opened the oven door, put it in, closed the oven door, and went on with her work. And when she thought that it might have been baked, she opened that oven door, and to her amazement, there was an enormous loaf there, a double loaf. Her eyes narrowed, and she looked at the old woman suspiciously, thinking something strange was going on. Nevertheless, she turned to the dough trough, took a tiny wee bit of dough, no bigger than your fingernail, rolled it between her hands, opened the oven door, put it in the oven door, closed the oven door, and no sooner had she closed that door than it burst open again, and turning she saw that the whole oven was filled with this swelling loaf of bread. At that she became enraged. She knew that she was being tricked. She knew that something was wrong. She became very suspicious, and shaking her bony finger and hardly able to get the words out, she turned to that strange old woman and tried to ask her just who. And before she could get any more words out, that old woman of the roads, who you remember was really a little person, whipped off her disguise. Her crooked walking stick turned into a wand, and tapping that mean baker's daughter on the shoulder, she said, "And that's all you'll ever say." And the mean baker's daughter was transformed into an owl, flying around and around and around the shop, crying, "Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo!" And out through the open door flew the owl, and away into the woods beyond. And now perhaps, if you know the saying, "The owl was a baker's daughter," you will know where it comes from. Look up Hamlet, the mad scene, and see what Ophelia says. It answered my query. I hope you liked that story.